we have
typical
to do for
Blizzard
nowadays.
would take away that functionality. They wouldn't accommodate us and put in an item to make it work. That's what I'm saying. There's been a fucking philosophy change. Something is different.
Oh my god, you're so right. They very well could have just like made that not work and like make you have to.
Yeah. that is. Tell me that's not such a Blizzard thing to do. Like they would totally do that.
This also happens every expansion, so it's not even
like
it's
this
something
though.
New. Yeah, I mean, I guess. But,
Because before,
like,
when it happens, it's always again a stupid solution for the problem that they make. It's like the conduit energy is like a stupid solution for the fact that our conduits got destroyed.
Everybody's hype about time walking, you know, or like the Mage Tower, the dungeons, Mythic Plus, all that stuff is good. Who would complain about any of that stuff, right? It's just that common feeling of like it's too little, too late.
People are upset that they're so frustrated with the game in the state that it's in, and they feel like there's nothing they can do about it. Zax. 9.1.5 is releasing on November 2nd for the US and November 3rd for the EU. That means that it is 18 weeks or 4 months from 9.1. That also means that if you calculate that with 9.1, which was 7 months from 9.0, that's like a year. Like,
God.
And it seems like, oh, I hit my mic. It seems like if we do the funky math, then we're probably going to have another 4 months before we get actual content, not bug fixes and changes, actual content. I would love to hear what you think about their pacing, and if you think that November 2nd is like a good date, do you think that that's too long that we've waited? Do you think from 9.1 to 9.15, and also how long 9.2 is going to be away from 9.1.5?
Well, it could have been worse. We could be getting 9.15 at like December. We never know what Blizzard's gonna do these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like if we think about, I don't know, it's like comparing everything to Legion. Everything's slow, right? So it like feels bad to even compare things to Legion. Those are just like the golden days.
Yeah.
But
Legion was the best days, right? Like I'm talking about when it comes to like pacing of content, it had the most content squished in to the shortest amount of time, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I hear.
70 something
talks about it, Yeah.
Days or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 77 days. But yeah, I mean 4 months is a long time to not get new content. And then this really isn't a new content kind of patch. I mean, there's a lot in the patch. But it's not like a new raid and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it's about time, and like all the stuff that's coming in this patch also makes it feel like it's like too late, kind of. Even though whatever, like because it's all the stuff that it's like all these massive problems that should have been in from the get go. So it's just like
really
oh my
feels
god,
bad.
Just stop delaying it. Just literally just fix all the problems now, man. Like you told us about them, just do them already. And we don't care. You just do Legion stuff later. Who cares?
Yeah, I want to push back a little bit on the no content, because is it no content when we're getting because we are getting content in the sense of like you're now have more specs open up to each class. We have the Covenant things that we can go through and do with our mains and alts as well. Like you can do those on several characters. So it's not no content. It just feels really bad because this is all stuff that we were saying we wanted in beta, and now we're waiting, a year before we actually get the stuff that we asked for before.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not really like new content, you could always do all the stuff that they're adding like Covenant wise. Like
true.
You said, I mean, it is nice to like, I don't know, the way I don't know, maybe we're jumping ahead here, but the way I think of this whole 9.15 patch is like it might as well not exist. It might as well just like they might as well not do any of this stuff until 9.2, because as far as I'm concerned, none of this matters until actual like new content comes out. When a new raid comes out, then it's like
that's true.
Then it's like, oh, all these new changes all of a sudden make a lot more sense. I mean, it makes sense for them to give it to us early and all that good stuff in a half patch and whatever, but like these changes, like being able to change your covenant and conduit energy being gone and all that kind of stuff, like it's really gonna come to fruition. 9.2. God
yeah,
knows
that's actually true because if they would have, because you're right with the 9.2 thing, they like the changes could have just been added there, or you know, even better, could have been added in 9.1, right? That would have been even better.
9.0.
9. Yeah, could have just never been a thing. But if they would have added like a Trial of Valor style raid, just like a half point, 3 bosses, 2 bosses, even just 1 boss, even if it was, you know, the Sartharian 3 Drake 1 boss instance thing that just got progressively harder as you progressed on it, right? I think that would make more sense and people would be less like bummed out. I think it's the fact that like we're waiting 4 months, which is a long time for no content. And then this just solidifies, like, we're getting absolutely no content for a very long time. And then it even feels worse because it's all stuff that it's like we've been wanting so much for so long that we're just over it now.
Yeah.
And so we'll get into all the changes. So for my opinion on the 9.1.5 releasing on November 2nd is I'm glad that they're giving us something and not waiting until 9.2 because we're going to be waiting till freaking March, bro. Like, it's going to be March. Like, it's going to be a long time before we get actual content in the game. And this at least gives some, especially since they are, you know, let's just skip ahead real quick. I know that we're skipping ahead some bullet points, but since they're bringing out the Legion Timewalking, which a lot of people are soured about because it's the rehashed content thing. You know, everyone's getting like upset about the rehashed content, but like rehashed content freaking works. Like, it worked in Classic, it worked in TBC, it's still working in TBC, and there's like, when you make it so that it's actually valuable, then the time walking content works. Like, the reason why none of the other time walking shit matters is because you don't get any value from anything. Like, anyone who's at a high end doesn't get any value from doing any of the time walking. That's going to be different. Now, it's not November 2nd though. Like, we're getting that December 7th.
Yeah,
so
that's a weird one.
That's a little sour, if you ask me.
Yeah. I know, like, I'm sure, like, I didn't really even, like, fully understand that until you just said it right there. Like, we're not, like, this patch is going to come out. It's going to be, you know, all this good stuff is coming out. And it's like, all right, time to jump into Legion Mythic Plus Mage. Oh, wait, December? Like, oh, my God. Like, December's further
That's
away
a fucking
than I thought.
bummer, bro. That's
another,
a month.
Another month.
Fuck. Yeah. That's 5 months before we get to do old content. What?
So, the only new content that's being added in the patch is a month delayed. So this patch is, this is a very, very like bittersweet kind of patch. I feel like that's a good way to describe it because obviously we want all these changes. We want Legion everything. Everybody's been asking for Legion everything this entire expansion, and they're like, all right, fine, here's Legion everything. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. People keep saying too little, too late. I'm hearing, you know, I get that a lot, patch, right?
Oh, so yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Like, I'm happy with this patch because I see it, because I'm thinking of it as like it's just prepping for 9.2, right? It's just like it's just gonna make 9.2 better, you know? Because
you put that mindset in my head. I wasn't in that camp until you were like, the next content patch that comes out is gonna be so much better because this patch happened.
Yeah, and it's like if you're not gonna, like, if you quit the game or something, or if you're bored of the game and then this patch comes out, it's not gonna like bring you back, you know? It's not gonna, like, I don't think. I mean, I think for most people there's no new content. You're still just doing the same thing. It's like you're free to do things a little differently or how you wanted to do them in the beginning, but it's nothing new. So like the thing that's gonna get you back is when the new stuff comes out and then it's like, oh my God, they fixed, oh, my conduit energy isn't even there. Oh, about time. Cool. And then you know, the content that you do get like keeps you around a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think it's going to feel really good in 9.2, but man, if you're talking about too late right now, November 2nd. It's like, dude, and I don't know if you heard, Towley had dropped a little, 9.2 or whatever is going to be different. And then, not 9.2. Oh, no. That I'm jumping ahead. Super scratch that. He was talking about the next expansion. Like he was, 9.2 is probably gonna suck. So never mind. That's we're gonna.
Dude, okay. But another thing with this release date and like a couple like rumors or whatever that have been going around and like delayed book releases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're definitely not getting 9.2 until, like you said, like March, like February, March, something like that.
If it doesn't get delayed again.
Yeah, who knows? And that like for sure means we're not getting another patch after that. So this is going to be a 3-tier expansion, right? Like WoD. And everybody loved WoD, Yeah, right? We get
Castle Matria, 909. Yeah, you're right.
Right? So we'll only have 3 raids, which that was WoD, and everybody complained about WoD, rightfully. So we're going to get 3 raids, and that's no bueno. I mean, we might get tier sets next raid. It might be an actual tier, I don't know if that makes up for it, but
yeah, what do you think about that?
Looking good.
How do you feel about the fact that sometimes an expansion doesn't work out the way Blizzard plans, and so they basically just scrap it and basically just all hands onto the next expansion?
Yeah, I mean,
is that good, or is that shitty? No matter how you spin it.
Well, I think it's kind of unfortunate that they're on this they're on like the Activision, Call of Duty cycle or whatever, where it's like, okay, we're putting out an expansion every 2 years. I don't care what's going on in the game. Kill all the characters, and we're starting a new expansion. I don't care what happens.
Oh, you think it's a deadline that they have to make?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. I think that's like a corporate.
That makes
thing.
sense.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like that's almost been like confirmed at this point. It's just like that's just how they've done it for so long. Since I don't even know when that started, but I feel like that's how it is. It's just like every 2 years we're coming out with an expansion. What it doesn't matter what's happening. If they did some shit where they like delayed the next expansion in order to like finish all the stuff they wanted to do in Shadowlands, I would be all for that shit. That would be like, oh my god, fuck corporate everything, like that'd be sick. I'd be like, they actually want to like finish what they fucking started, and like this idea that they want to get all they had all these bosses and this whole fucking storyline planned out. If they just were like, yo, we're next expansion, this is going to be a 3-year expansion, we are getting 4 raids in this damn expansion. Oh my god, that'd be so sick. Maybe it wouldn't be sick because Shadowlands is not doing so hot, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying like artistically,
Yeah, I think it would be sick too, because I feel like they don't have a chance to really flesh out any characters. There's no bad guy has several tiers to build up. There's no none of the good guys have a chance to like have like some type of like hero arc. Like none of that happens anymore, because it's like, all right, we have all these plans. I'm sure they have like a blueprint on how they want Shadowlands to go, and it's like, all right, so we're by the time we get to 9.3, 9.3.5, this is what we want to happen, so that when we shift into the next expansion, this happens. Well, they get cut halfway. It's like, imagine watching like The Matrix and you get cut like basically like they just made the first movie and nothing else, and then you got nothing. Right. Like then it just like, it doesn't, you get no proper ending, and then that leaves you to the BFA bullshit that happens, where like the story doesn't really make sense, and it only makes sense if you also read the books and you're subscribed to Pyromancer, and like you have to go to outside sources out of the game to get the information.
Right. And I mean, like, it's kind of understandable that something like this would happen in Shadowlands. I don't know what the reason, so to speak, was for WoD, but COVID happened back in the middle of Shadowlands, or at the beginning, or whenever it was. I don't know. It's all a blur now. But this is like the COVID expansion, and then they kind of got their hands full with some other things lately. So kind of makes sense why they'd be a little behind. Maybe some communication would be cool on that, but I understand, whatever. They got to do what they got to do. So it's like, it makes sense that like Shadowlands, it got delayed in the first place, right? Like the entire expansion got delayed, which they've never done ever before. All that kind of stuff. So it makes sense why we're at where we're at, but
yeah,
I don't know, dude.
this Shadowlands, like, and if you think about what Shadowlands could have been, it's just like, it just sucks so bad. There's like so many characters that could have came back from the dead, like that fit the lore. So many things that could have happened that just like made this such a massive expansion. We talked about it before it launched. You know, the things that they were putting in with Torghast in the first iteration was like super fun, how we were going about doing it, and then all the stuff with the legendaries and just making it so that it felt like an expansion that people would love, and it just turned into the biggest dumpster fire. All right, let's ask this question. All right, so we're gonna move on to pull the ripcord. Okay, so
wait, I want so I got a general question.
Okay,
maybe this should have been at the very beginning or something. I don't know.
It can be.
General question: do you feel good or bad about this patch in general? Like, does this give you like a positive outlook or a negative outlook? You know what I'm saying?
So where I am right now with World of Warcraft is not I'm not in a good spot with WoW. I just feel super drained. That I don't know how else to really explain it. I don't dislike it. I'm not like upset when I log in. I just feel like I log in and I'm pretty drained and bored, right? So like it's like almost like I don't want to do anything because I feel like I've done it so many times. So this patch coming out, I think doesn't do anything to add on to that you know, whatever the I don't even know the words for it, just that pressure of like I just want to get out of this, like I don't want to play this, like that. It doesn't add on, like, so 9.1.5 doesn't add on to that. I think it does relieve it a little bit. I feel like there is a little bit more excitement with being able to switch covenants as you need to, and there's some items to chase, some different toys and titles and things to chase if you want to go down that route. So there's some mindless content that, you know, I could take part in if I want to, and then also with like like when the Legion Timewalking comes out, I'm very excited for that. Now I don't know if that says anything good about Shadowlands itself, but I am going to be playing Shadowlands because of the Mage Tower, which we didn't really even touch on yet. We'll touch on that stuff in just a second. But like the Mage Tower and the all the dungeons coming out, the Mythic Plus stuff. Like I really do feel like this is relieving some of the pressure, but it's not gonna. This isn't long lasting. Like relief. This is like I'm taking some ibuprofen, right? Like I'm getting like my headache's gonna go away for like a day or two, and I'm gonna do like a bunch. I'm gonna do all the stuff. I'm gonna cram in, like, because you know we're all degenerate gamers, so we're gonna go in. We're gonna do everything in about a week. When you know it's gonna be split out now in 3 days and 3 days because you know Legion's coming out a month later, but yeah. I do feel like I'm gonna have a lot of fun for those 3 or 4 days, but then I'm out, dude. Like I got nothing to invest into this patch outside of the little bit of content that they're giving. You know, that's kind of like backhand content. You know, so yeah, I do feel like I'm more positive than I am negative on it, but all they would have had to do is had a small, you know, half tier raid, something little that they added on top of this, and it would have made it good in my eyes. But I just think it's just a little bit under good, but it's still not bad. Like, so I'm ultimately positive. I just don't think it's gonna last. It's not gonna last very long.
Do you think? Cause I think you mentioned like before when we were talking that people were kind of upset with this patch. Do you think people are like? You think people are actually upset with what's in the patch, or they're just upset with WoW in general, and like this isn't fixing everything? You know what I'm saying? Like they're just
like I got a theory, you know bro. I have a theory on this, and like this is kind of all right. So I don't mean it to be mean to anyone, because I am also this person, and I only recently stepped out of this because of New World. This is the only reason why I stepped out of this whole like World of Warcraft thing that I'm about to talk about. So, and tell me if you agree with this. I feel like World of Warcraft is like a toxic relationship where you have 2 parties that don't really want to be together, but there are some highlights that and some highlights and then some responsibilities that keep them together. So they have some good times, like a couple that goes out into like, they go out for the night, they have a really great night, but then like for 2 months straight they hate each other. Like they like fight and argue and whatever, but they have kids. They have some responsibilities that they have to like kind of stay. It's like that. Like it feels like I want the game to do good, but I don't want the game to do good with me. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Like that's how I feel like I don't want the game to be bad, but like it's like I can't get better with it. Like it has to get better on its own, and then I'll come back. Yeah. Like and then and then I'll be a part of that whole shit again.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people have that where they see these changes and stuff, and it's not the change. Like no one is upset at pull the ripcord, right? No one's upset at that. No one's upset that the Legion Timewalking's coming out. Nobody is mad at these things themselves. I mean, at least I don't think. I've never heard anyone be upset. Right. People are upset that they're so frustrated with the game in the state that it's in, and they feel like there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing that's going to change them, change the way they feel right now about the game to make them wake up on Tuesday to be excited to open the vault or to be excited to like raid or do it. Like that's what they're mad at. And I totally get that because I mean, I'm sure you do as well. Like, like the feeling when you're like, fuck, I'm like, I wake up, I want to get onto World of Warcraft, you get on, and like all those negative feelings just like start coming back.
Yeah.
Like it just like hits you and you're just like, man, I can't get through it. And so that's I feel like it's a lot like that, and I'd like your thoughts on that too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like I think people they're not mad necessarily at, it's not, they don't like disagree with what's in the patch. Nobody, like you said, nobody's mad about pulling the ripcord or removing conduit energy or like removing AoE caps, or everybody's hype about time walking, or like the Mage Tower, the dungeons, Mythic Plus, all that stuff is good. Who would complain about any of that stuff, right? It's just that common feeling of like it's too little too late, or like I've already quit the game, I'm already playing New World now, like you can't, this isn't enough to like bring me back now, I need this and this to be able to come back, and this isn't that. It's like, so it's like feels like a half measure, even though it's like.
But do you think some people just also, no matter what Blizzard did to make WoW good, do you think that it's possible that there's a large group of people that just needed a break from WoW? Like that just like wanted to step out, no matter what Blizzard did, they just needed to step away from it, and then they'll find their way back. Like, how you never really quit WoW, you just take breaks. Like maybe we're just at that time where like, it is bad time. I'm just saying, do you think that maybe we all, no matter what they did, if it was good, like people are just kind of tired right now?
Yeah. And I mean, I think we even kind of fall into that category, because New World is a big like breath of fresh air, even in like a weird way of like showing me that things that I don't appreciate about WoW, which I don't know, that makes you sound like a shill, I guess, but like reminding me why I like WoW, because I fucking, as you know, I fell off of New World so fast.
Yeah,
it just died for me, and it's just like reminding me like, oh yeah, WoW has somehow kept me playing for 7 million years in a row.
Yeah,
I must like this game for something. I don't know. I've kind of lost what that is with all these messy things going on that are actually being fixed. But yeah, I think I do know what you mean. Like just getting a break is a big thing, and people don't feel, I mean, including me, don't feel too hot about Blizzard in general. So it's like just anything Blizzard says, it's like, nah, fuck you, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Wait, you're giving us everything we wanted? You still don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just doing it because we said it.
Thanks for the roses, asshole.
yeah, you'll relapse in a fucking couple months. Next expansion, you'll ruin it all again. This is all just borrowed power, basically. Borrowed forgiveness.
Borrowed forgiveness.
Oh shit, dude, that might have been a little deeper than I meant to go.
Yo, that's crazy. Okay, all right, calm it down. Step back from that ledge, my friend.
No. Go back to New World.
So yeah, I think most people fell off of New World like that because for all the good that New World had and brought, it's like like all the things that it showed you that other games have different ways of doing things, and some of them are really fucking cool. Like some of them, like some different types of way you do abilities, different types you do like crafting and farming and questing, and you know, the same 4 quests over and over. But there's some things to be said about how good it feels to be on a new engine and stuff like that. But there is nothing really at the end game, right? So like when like World of Warcraft, like you have end game that lasts weeks and weeks and weeks, you know, for a lot of people it's months and months. So so there's no comparison when it comes to like, you know, what game is the king of endgame, right? Like there's no comparison. Like World of Warcraft is the king of endgame. There's no stopping that. When it Mythic Plus, any type of raids that you have to do, all the catch up stuff. The problem is that it's such the king of endgame that it starts to become like a parody of itself. And now instead of doing like world quest or whatever, like you have these bars that you have to fill up every single day, and if you don't fill it up, then you feel like you're behind, and now you're playing catch up, and you always feel like you're a step behind everybody else. And so it starts to become a weird parody of itself, where all the things that people complained about aren't there anymore. Like we don't have islands, but like we have Torghast. You know, it's like starts to like become like a joke on itself. And I think they just need to branch out and just like kind of do some different things to get those creative juices coming back. But speaking of Ripcord, I wanted to talk about that real quick. Like I wanted to know if you are going to partake in any of the Covenant stuff that's going to be unlocked going into 9.1.5.
I mean, like just like playing like specs and shit that I haven't really been able to because
like do you think you'll have like a frost set and a fire set, and like, you know, you'll switch them as you see fit on the fight? And do you feel like you're gonna go through all the campaigns at least once just to, you know, go see all the shit that they have to offer, things that maybe you haven't seen before, and maybe even try some gimmicky shit like arcane necrolord, things like that? Like, do you feel like you're gonna have some fun in that area, or are you kind of just like you know, kind of like, oh, I already did this, it was just not as free, so I'm already done with all that?
Well, I was gonna say, like, I can't even, like, it's hard for me to even think of WoW or like Shadowlands specifically in terms of like just trying out new things, because the game has just brainwashed you into like, you're not allowed to do that, fuck you, play one thing,
so
that's the only thing you're allowed
bad
to do. So I can't even it's hard to even imagine what it would be like to like go into the raid, do the first boss as an arcane mage, and then switch to frost mage because that one's better, or I want to play it for the next fight, and then be able to switch covenants and everything, be able to play fire on the next fight, you know, like I can't even like fathom that. So I don't know. Probably for the first little bit, I'm probably gonna take it easy. Maybe try out, you know, just do, you know, fire or something. You know, whatever the best is at the time. Maybe there's some new shit that, you know, we're not done with all the tuning, because Frost Mage just randomly got buffed, apparently coming with this patch. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't know.
One of like 3 specs or something, they got changed at all. It's like single target, I guess, buffed out of nowhere for nobody knows why. Which is kind of strange. So Frost Mage might actually be good, or, you know, the best again, which is weird. But I don't know. I mean, for sure, I'm more likely to mess around and like play fire and play some new build, any new build that people come up with. I'm not gonna be like doing Mythic Plus for fun, right? So it's really just gonna be like, what do I play and farm? And then it's like, well, it's farm, so do I care about like going through the trouble of, you know, it would just be for fun. Ultimately, it's just like, well, I do kind of want to play the new fire build, right? I have the legendary. Oh, and like all the other changes, there's a crazy amount of changes in this patch where you get a lot more soul cinders and soul ash, and they're both 100% grindable.
Time.
Yeah, so like you're gonna be able to smash, like you're gonna be able to get all the legendaries you want at whatever item level. You can recycle them now and like it's so much is coming. And like conduits are going to be faster to get, I think. Not too sure about that one, but I keep thinking of things. I'm like this patch fixes everything, and then I think of things. Oh wait, no, they actually haven't fixed that yet. Okay,
the slivers come faster.
Yeah, the little domination shards drop more often, which is
Yeah.
like, why did it take that long to fix that? But you don't get more embers, so they don't upgrade faster, which is the thing that actually matters. I don't know. That was a long answer to the question. Is maybe a little bit. I might.
Well, do you
switch a
think
little
that
bit.
in Sanctum would you have, or maybe even what the hell was it? Sire Denathrius raid, Castle Nathria.
Castle
Do you think that in Sanctum or Castle Nathria that you would have swapped specs on a specific fight, or do you think you would have just stayed Frost the whole time?
Well, Castle Nathria was like fire the whole time.
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
remember right.
yeah.
But yeah, for sure, like Frost or whatever was better on a couple fights. I can't really remember too well, but yeah, and then in Sanctum was like a big weird Frost Mage shenanigans. Like I'm sure, I mean, you played Mage too. Like it was that weird, like, oh, Arcane's looking Biss. Oh, nope, Frost. All the world first mages are going Venthyr Frost. Oh, okay, some people are playing Fire now. Apparently that's broke. Oh, it's just like, oh my god, I don't know.
You don't know
choose,
how
man.
bad it pissed me off when I found out that Fire is actually good because you don't have a chance. You like in Sanctum when it came out, you just didn't have a chance to try anything. So like, if I had to commit to Arcane a month before the patch even came out to do the goddamn raid. It was so like and I would have 100% switched to Frost for some of the first earlier fights, especially some of the earlier fights. And then when that fire bonanza shit came out towards the end of the tier, I would have tried that, but I'm not switching covenants 14 goddamn times.
Yeah.
So I would have totally tried different things. I'm a type of person that I don't really get, I don't ever really like being comfortable in something. I get bored pretty easily. So I think the pull of the ripcord is going to have a massive effect on me. I feel like being able to switch from Frost and have the legendaries, plus I get to give back the shitty legendaries that I didn't know were shitty, but I didn't have an option to try anything until I freaking already spent the Soul Ash and Soul Cinders on them. So I'm actually happy about Pull the Ripcord right now, and I think that it's going to be big for me and anyone else that doesn't really like to settle into one spec and play that forever.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! Like Mythic Plus pushers have got to be like the most excited about this.
100%. Being able to go Fire and Mythic Plus and then like or Frost, whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's still Fire. I haven't played the game in a little bit. And when you're an Arcane Mage, like it's cool. You're cool. You know, you can do damage. You can do AOE stuff. Yeah. But you know, it's not the best. So you feel a little bit weird. Also, like the thing I was thinking was like the dungeon buffs. Like you're going into a Theater of Pain, you don't have a Necrolord, and it's like, well, I guess we just don't have this for this run, or we have to find somebody. It's just like, oh, you're random guy, your priest can just go Necrolord or whatever. That is, whoever, I didn't even think of that.
I think they're gonna love that.
That is so crazy. That's so good, man. That is so good. Hell yeah. That's exciting. That's nice, and it's usually, you know, rip the healers. You know, they're probably going to be the ones that have to do that. But you know, it is what it is.
Bro.
All right, that's Pull the Ripcord.Moving on to conduit energy being removed. Wait, do you have more to say?
Yeah. So okay, this is one of those. I don't know what the phrase is. But you know me, I gotta point out the negative. In the amazing thing that's happening, right? So I've talked to you in the past about how simming is gonna be a nightmare, dude.
Oh, don't start. Don't start, dude. This,
right,
you know. All right, you can say what you say, and we'll see if for the two people that watch this, like they can write comments on what they think. But like, this is not a big deal. But go ahead.
All right. I won't go down the simming. Yeah, I think that's real. Like as a mage, going into a raid tier and Oh my god, just thinking about it like stresses me out. All right, so you're gonna have 3 spec options, assuming one of them, or a couple of them aren't just absolutely terrible. You're gonna have what, 4 covenant options for those 3 specs, and then 3 soul binds for each covenant. So already that's like a million options that theoretically you would, you're gonna have to theory craft about, whether you sim them every time or not, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole sim thing, but I was just thinking, whenever, if you are gonna like set yourself up, even just for farm, even if you're just like farming Sanctum, and you want to like switch to whatever's best. If you're a mage, you want to switch to, I don't know, I can't think of an example. Like you want to play Frost for the whole raid, and then go fire at the end or whatever, or you want to switch back and forth. It's gonna be awkward to switch everything still, because we don't really know how the covenant switch is going to go. We don't know, like, I guess you have to leave the raid, I would assume, so you have to get summoned back. You have to go to probably Ouroboros or something, talk to a guy that like switches your covenant, I guess, and then who knows if any of your like Conduit or soulbind stuff is going to be saved, because they're not too great with saving stuff. So you might have to then go to your Sanctum and then like put all your stuff in and like put your conduits in, and like you're gonna have to, every time you want to change your covenant, you're gonna have to leave whatever the fuck you're doing, go to Ouroboros, and then probably go from Ouroboros to your Sanctum Hall, and then get summoned back to where you want to be. Like, it's gonna be kind of a mess, especially if since we talked about this so long ago. I don't know if we were the first people, but we talked about it a long time ago, where they still don't have conduit remembering. I don't know what to call it. Like conduit, spec specific conduits, where like you have your conduits in the soulbind, you change your spec, and then the conduits switch to the other spec.
Oh my god, are they gonna blizzard it, dude? Are they gonna blizzard themselves?
It's one of those little things that they miss that like kind of makes all the difference. So whenever you like, I'm kind of experiencing that already. Like the patch isn't even out yet, and like I'm playing Venthyr Frost mostly, and then like I want to play Venthyr Fire. It's like, all right, let me switch over to Venthyr Fire. Oh wait, I have to leave the raid, go back to my Sanctum in order to change my conduits, because they use the same soulbind, because the other 2 soulbinds are dookie, of course, as it can't bounce anything. So I'd have to go to my Sanctum to change my conduits to get summoned back. And then it's like, okay, I don't want to play fire on the next one, so I want to switch back to Frost. And it's like, all right, well now I got to go Hearth again, change my soulbinds. Like the fact that they didn't make it like remember, based on your spec, or we still don't know like a bunch of like little details. Like maybe they'll figure out that like it's kind of dumb for you to have to go back to your what's it called, like Forge of Bonds or whatever in your Sanctum Hall, to change your conduits. Why can't you just do that with a tome? Why can't you just do that wherever you are? Just switch my conduits. It's like, why do we need the RP of like actually being at the forge? I really don't get that,
100%
conduit energy being gone.
Yeah, 100% the conduit changing is gonna be at the Sanctum. Like there's no way they have a solution for that, or even considering it. But I always imagine that you would hearth to Ouroboros or port to Ouroboros, and then talk to someone that's like, what covenant do you want to be? And then it would swap you, and then it would remember all your shit. But they might totally fucking blizzard themselves, and you have to go to Ouroboros, talk to someone, that person stops you, you then have to talk to one of the dudes at the side again, and then knowing them, you probably have to talk to all 4 to get that, like, what can you offer me? And then you have to go to the Covenant, and because it's probably going to be blank. Your soulbind's probably going to be fucking blank.
You would think, yeah.
Oh, they better not do some shit like that. The least they could do is make it so that you go, I mean, this is like level bottom floor shit, is you go to Ouroboros, you switch, and then it remembers the last stuff you had in the conduits, or sorry, for the soulbinds. That's like, that's the least they, like, if they make it any more difficult than that, then holy shit. I mean, that would be bad.
Just makes me think, like, these changes are great. Obviously, I'm glad they're happening for 9.2. I'm glad they're happening. I don't care so much for the patch itself, but whatever implications for 9.2. But it's still just gonna showcase like just how ridiculously clunky everything in this expansion is. Like they're freeing up so much, and it's great. And and everybody's gonna be like, fuck yeah, I can switch whenever I want. And let me go switch. Oh God, how do I switch? Would I have to go to switch? Okay, so now I gotta switch. Oh wait, it didn't switch any of this stuff. So now I have to go here to switch this. And then now I need to sim all of these to, oh wait, now it has different stats. And it's just like a sea of like new like it's better problems to have, you know, because like at least you can change, but just like new like weird just clunky problems, like why isn't this just built into my character, you know?
What if they just bust out they bust out the whole fucking talent tree at the bottom has the little thing that you click, right, and then you take a tome and you switch the conduits that are already saved. But just in case you wanted something different, you just switch it wherever you want to be. That would be the best they could do.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Literally, why not? Like, I would like to fucking know why they wouldn't do that.
Oh my God, that just reminded me. This is like a little bit off topic, but just think about how, you know, like we're thinking about all these extra things that they still need to do. Like these are all great changes. They still got a little bit of a ways to go. Just think about how how do I say this? There's a timeline not so far away from our timeline, where they didn't do any of this shit. They didn't change a damn thing. They just said, fuck you, still don't know what you're talking about. We're not pulling a ripcord.
You think you do?
Conduit energy stays in. Now you just get 20 conduit energy every week instead of 10. That'll fix it. Like, and they just keep everything. Like there's like, I don't know how to say that. Like, we could not have any of this. It's wouldn't be that unheard of for Blizzard to not do any of this.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. They just did everything we asked for pretty much. Like they're missing some things, whatever. But
dudes, I'm telling you right now, some dude at the top either got fired or gets completely fucking ignored. Like there is some dude that was the roadblock. That like it just, you felt it, like, right, like you felt there's something happened, like, you know, like 2 months ago or whatever, something happened where everyone felt that something different changed, like something some moving piece or some piece just got moved around and something happened to where like the feedback got through to the people who can actually make the decisions, right? And I feel like for so long that just didn't happen. That just didn't happen.
This also happens every expansion, so it's not even
like
it's
this though.
New. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Because before, when it happens, it's always again a stupid solution for the problem that they make. It's like the conduit energy is like a stupid solution for the fact that our conduits got destroyed.
Yeah, that'll go down in history as one of the nightmares, dude. Dude, I just remembered one thing that this is like a sneak diss, but the AoE cap thing where they have like this goal of balancing it so certain specs do like better on certain target numbers or whatever, you know, cleave niches or whatever they try to establish. That's another thing that falls into a separate category that I hate about Blizzard, where they just say, yeah, we'll balance it. They just say, you don't like what we're doing? Well, here's what we're trying to do, and yeah, we'll get it right. We'll nail it. We'll just get it perfect for sure. The numbers, we always get those right. Here we go. Rogue, 3 target Andy. It's like, okay, no, you just totally missed the mark on literally every class. I don't know, dude. I hate when they just say, we'll just balance it. It's like soul binds. There's not a single, I don't know, man. Shadowlands, dude. Just fucking Shadowlands. Makes me so mad.
Almost lost it there for a second, you know?
Corligan nervous laugh.
All right, so the only thing I want to talk about on my end for the AoE cap is that doing big pulls in World of Warcraft is the most fun for me. And I think there's a lot of people that are in that camp as well, where you're doing a single target boss, it's super fun, and then when the ads come out is where you get like all perky, right? And like you start to get really excited. And the fact that you weren't able to hit those mobs were like, you know, at least that they're if there was 5, 6, 7, 8, there's some classes that just did no damage past a certain amount. That was really bad. So it's good that they're removing it, but it feels not that good because of the fact that you're still going to do the same amount of damage. I think that's what there was a few people in the discords, the Mage discords, that were saying that the damage that you're doing is going to be the same. You're just now hitting everything, which isn't better. It's just not, it's only good for the people that are doing old content and they want to be able to arcane explosion 500 things and kill it all with one hit. That seems like who it's really geared towards, this change. And what it should be is that everyone that has an AoE ability, AoE's fucking everything. That's what it should be.
Right, yeah.
But it's not, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it is one step closer. So like you said, with the 9.2 being better because of 9.1.5, maybe the next time they mess around with AoE cap, it will be further onto the end, further towards the end that we want it to be.
We can only hope.
All right, well, that's that. Now let's move on to something that we didn't already talk about. Is the Legion Timewalking. We talked a little bit about it, but we're gonna go a little bit deeper. How do you feel? Here's a weird question. How do you feel that they brought back 6 of the dungeons, and do you feel like they are the better of the 6?
Oh. How many dungeons were there ultimately? Like fucking 12 or something? 14? Like
Don't put me on the spot.
I just remember that like they just kept adding them in Legion, dude. God, Legion was sick. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad. I'm kind of glad that it's 6 of the like originals, you know, like I don't know, I think a lot of people, maybe like the Mythic Plus heads, wanted to see like Seat and like Cathedral and shit like that, and Karazhan. A lot of people want to see Karazhan, of course.
All right, so no one wanted to see Karazhan, no one wanted to see Seat, okay? Like those are
I was saying what I heard, dude. Not me, dude.
Those people are insane.
People loved Karazhan though.
All right, Karazhan, yeah, Karazhan for sure. I'm all on board for it, but you just named 2 of my least favorite dungeons.
Yeah. I mean,
for me, missing Maw of Souls and Halls of Valor is like huge.
Yeah, that's rough. Well, I mean, like I'm glad, like for me, like I'm glad Court of Stars is in there.
Me too.
I think that's like one of everybody's like, you know, it's high up on the list. I'm glad Court of Stars is there, and I'm glad Eye of Ashara is there, because Eye of Ashara was my shit, dude. Talk about mass AoE. Talk about being not AoE capped. Dark Heart Thicket I thought was sick and whatever.
I think Eye of Ashara is probably it's one of the best dungeons ever.
It's hard to go wrong with fucking Legion dungeons. Which is why everybody's been asking for them for so long. It's like, well, just literally give us all of them and nobody's gonna complain. You know, like everybody's gonna be sad that there's a dungeon missing.
The only change I would have made to the dungeon roster is cut Blackroot Cold. I didn't like it. I don't think there was a lot of people who liked it. I thought it was a weird dungeon. Cut that. Put in either Maw Souls, Halls of Valor, or even the Archway, and I would have been...
Oh, the Archway.
I would have been more happy.
Dude, how could they not have Maw of Souls in this
I know.
That's
that's the Legion dungeon.
Yeah.
That's it. I squeaked. That's it.
That's literally, it's the one. It's got to be the most run. Obviously, it's the most run dungeon in the entire fucking thing because everybody fucking grinded it. A million years. Maybe that's why they didn't add it.
But let's be real. Eye of Ashara, Dark Heart Thicket, Vault of the Warden, Court of Stars, like those 4, you could cut Neltharion's Lair and Blackrook, and you'd still have a monster lineup for Mythic Plus dungeons.
Yeah, it's sick, dude.
So
it'd be great to play in fucking December.
For winter break, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that it's going to be Mythic Plus, like, you gotta be pretty Jones about that. I am stoked that it's Mythic Plus. I am also stoked that it's current eye level loot, and it contributes to all the shit that you would normally think that it contributes to. It is perfect. I think it is fucking perfect. Hopefully the difficulty is where it should be. From what I've heard from like Dratnos, it is. So that's really super cool. And I think the Infernal Affix is super nostalgic. I'd like to get your thoughts on all those.
I haven't even really seen how the Infernal Affix works, other than it's kind of like Tormented, where it's just like there's just basically a boss sitting there, like a little spawner sitting there that just spawns mobs you got to kill. I don't know if you even get anything from there, but whatever. I don't know if that affix is cool, but I don't know. I mean, like, this is gonna be cool to do. Go back and relive some memories, with a new class or whatever, just to mess around. Maybe there's some cool Legion loot or something that you can get. I know a lot of people have been talking about the like auto attack damage ring or whatever that you can get from Court of Stars.
Oh, right.
Like, that's pretty fucking boring, auto attack damage, but whatever. It's just like something that can improve your damage. It's like, ooh, shiny. Fuck it, yeah, let's go.
Friend of ours, Valorn, talked about is it the knife? What the fuck? The one that makes the winds go around you and do AoE damage. Do you remember that one?
Oh, some trinket. Yeah,
the whetstone.
Yeah, something like that.
So I think that's one that a lot of people might be gunning for.
Oh, dude, imagine you could get the fucking Umbral Moon Blaze.
Oh,
somehow.
Get out of here, dude! Bro, that would be too sick. I would get him on a fucking Arcane Mage, bro. Like, that would be insane.
They don't make trinkets like that anymore, man.
I know. Imagine if you could get withered. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So I know you. Like I said, it's only gonna last about a week or two, maximum. But for that week or two, I'm just gonna be happy that I'm doing content that I'm having fun doing, and it's not a chore. And it's something I've been looking forward to, and I am a very nostalgic person. Like, I love nostalgia. I go back and watch Lord of the Rings every year. Like, I watch Harry Potter's. I'm like a real I like old. Like, I literally just spend time looking at old photos and shit. Like, I love nostalgia. Like, I'm just that type of person, and I feel like going back and doing these things, like, at the height of my WoW love, the most I've loved World of Warcraft was Legion, and this is just gonna be fucking fantastic to live in that for the 2 weeks that it lasts or whatever.
You got to get the Guardian Druid ready,
dude, bro. 100%, 100%. The problem though is that it's so far behind that I'm not going to be able to do like high-end Mythic Plus with him for a while. So it's like, it kind of sucks. But that leads me into, nice segue, into the Mage Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Guardian Druid is getting a special little werebear for beating that super sick single player, what is his name? Kroll? High Warlord?
I don't know.
Crawl, I don't even remember, Cruel or something like that. Anyways,
not great with names.
Super sick. One of the best times that I've ever had in World of Warcraft was doing that. So I'm definitely going to be getting the Legion werebear when that shit releases next December. No, just kidding. So the original 7 challenges are coming back with the specs. You don't get your Covenant abilities, you don't get your soul binds, you don't get Shadowlands legendaries. How do you feel about the Mage Tower, dude? You weren't that much of a fan of it before, though, so I'm curious.
I didn't mess around with it too much, but I mean, it was fun when I did, and I know, I mean, a lot of people are more excited about this than the Mythic Plus, right? The Mage Tower is just like where did this even come from? Like, who thought of this? Why is this here? Legion is sick, by the way, and then they'll just, apparently they're just never going to do it ever again. All right, well, so it's like, well, we want you to do a new Mage Tower. That would be sick, but whatever. We'll settle for the old one with, our new classes and stuff, whatever. Let's go. I'm probably not going to mess around with it because, I mean, the rewards for it ain't super enticing. at least for me. It's like a recolor of a transmog set that already exists. So whatever. If you're into that, it's gonna be cool. And then it's like if you complete all 7 of the different kinds or whatever, you get a achievement maybe, and you get a mount.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be hype.
I
think
do
it's
have
like
a problem
unique,
with these though, by the way,
mount.
that we'll talk about, but continue.
Oh shit! All right, but it's like I think it's a unique mount that like you just can't get this mount anywhere else. If I'm not mistaken, it's like you're flying on a fucking book. Maybe that exists already. I don't know, but I think it's unique, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and doing all 7 of them, you know, across all your characters, it will actually be hard as far as I've seen. Like seeing people like that's something we talked about in the past. Like when we found out this is coming out, was like, okay, well, how are they going to tune this, right? If it's going to be like, you know, everything's going to be scaled, all your gear is going to be scaled down or whatever. They're going to try to make it like challenge mode ish, where you can't just overgear it. You know, you can't overgear it over time like you did in Legion. So it's just going to be one set difficulty. There's no way they're going to make this hard, right? And then you go look at PTR and see people testing it out, and they're like actually struggling with it.
Yeah,
you know,
I love it. I love that.
Well, yeah, like people are world first raiders or that did it back in the day, are like taking a couple attempts to do it. They're not just one shotting it, especially the tank one or like the Guardian Druid one.
Yeah, the tank one. Like, you know, the tank one's going to be really reasonable. Difficult. Like for at least the fact that because the Legion Plus stuff, they're moving the dungeons to be where we are. And for this, they're keeping it like traditional time walking, where they're making us go down to that level, which means that the level that it is what it fucking is. They're, you know, right. You're not going to be out gearing this anytime soon or ever, actually. So it's and they're making it so that there's no borrowed power that's like useful with it. I got a question. Are they allowing us to use Legion legendaries for this?
I don't know, because I remember reading that they were like, you know, they're listing off all the things you can't use, and they specifically said Shadowlands legendaries. So I don't know. Maybe that'd be kind of crazy if Legion ones worked.
Well,
that's also going to be so weird, like to not be able to use your Covenant abilities or soul binds or anything like that. It's going to be so strange to like. You're going to have to play a totally different build, most likely.
You ain't playing Carrion Arcane Mage, I'll tell you that.
That's for sure.
But no, so like I feel like there's some of them that are too hard without legendaries. Like not having any legendaries on the Guardian Druid is going to be insane. Like it's like, I don't know how difficult it's going to be, but it's going to be insane. If it's what it was when it first launched without any legendaries, that's going to be insane to try to complete. So we'll see how that plays out. The problem that I have with this is that, as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you'll be able to do this forever. Like anytime Legion Timewalking comes around, you'll be able to get all the achievements and the mounts and the werebear and everything. So
true.
It doesn't have the same prestige that the old Mage Tower had when you knew it was never coming back again.
Oh yeah, I guess I get what you're saying.
So it does have it's like it's a long time, right? So it takes what, 5 weeks or whatever. How it is 8 weeks? I don't even know.
It's 18.
18, yeah. All right, so
a long time.
18 fucking weeks before it comes back again, but it will come back. So it's like, you know, it's a little bittersweet that it's not just like here and gone, but then again, it is kind of cool that I'll be able to do it every 18 weeks and fucking go in and nerd out with Mythic Plus, fucking Legion Timewalking, Mage Tower, and all that shit.
Right.
So it's bittersweet.
Yeah, and well, I guess the fact that like it's not ever going to get easier because of like the scaling, theoretically, you know, like it's still going to be the same difficulty whenever you come back around to it. You're not going to overgear it, you know, 18 weeks from now or whatever. From what?
Oh my god, that's going to be such a cool thing to be like.
It's going to be the same thing.
Be like a new tank in a guild, dude. I'm gonna if I start a guild again ever, which I'm not, I'm gonna like, did you do the Legion Timewalking Mage Tower tank? And if they didn't, then they don't get in. I need a picture of them. I need their achievement.
Yeah.
Link it. because that's like I remember people like actually thinking that having gold DPS in the group finder was like an important thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, but you know, they should have something like that. There should be something that shows that you're fucking good. There should be something like that, and I think this is like about as close as we're gonna get for now.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be crazy if like the group finder like made your mage tower like
oh my god,
up.
it's 400 attempts. It says like, oh god, that would be terrible. Oh god, 400 it's 400 attempts, 1 kill. Oh, that would be terrible. Holy shit. What did they say what it's going to cost to get into the mage tower? Cuz before there was a currency.
I think it's free.
Fucking great. Love it.
I don't know.
I hate doing shit content to do the good content. That
they're not going to make you
whatever that system is has to
shore.
go. Yeah. Doing fucking chests.
Even though you love that.
Love the chest, not gonna lie. Actually not gonna lie. All right. Anything else on the Legion Timewalking?
I don't think so. I mean, everybody's been asking for Legion, so here it is.
Gotcha, bitch.
Got him.
I'm actually really excited for it. And there's like, I know that a few of our friends are actually excited for it as well and gonna come back for that, like, or at least considering coming back for that like 2 weeks or whatever. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so most of the other stuff, we probably want to carve out some time for group finder, right? Because like that's like really the only other important. And then we can do like a kind of like a rapid fire. Like, how do you feel about the alt? That you want to do something like that?
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's talk about the group finder, because I feel like the group finder, the changes that they're making to the group finder is one, like they're literally just one step away from solo queue, and I feel like these are just the building blocks to that. So
I don't know about that.
Like they have the PvP rating, and now it's going to come into the they're going to be able to see that, and they're showing it off. They have the Mythic Plus. They might be. I mean, I'm holding my breath, but they might be like, you know, thinking about something along those lines, you know, sometime soon. But, you know, how do you feel? Let's start with the first thing. How do you feel about the authenticator?
Oh, I mean, that's obvious. I don't even know why that wasn't already
the most obvious thing that I didn't think of, but it's the best fucking change.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, yeah, is the best.
Like, the whole like going into your group finder and just seeing it filled with bots or whatever, like websites selling gold or whatever is in there boosting and all that stuff. It's like kind of annoying. Like ultimately you can just like mute them or block them or whatever. It like just takes time. It's kind of stupid that it's in there, and it's like kind of a bad sign for the game that, you know, this in-game feature is just bloated with all this stuff. So if they can, I mean, I feel like that's probably a pretty elegant solution to deal with it. So I guess we'll see if it actually works, you know, gets rid of all that stuff. Maybe they just all get free authenticators and you know, circumvent the problem, but we'll see. It's not like you have to pay for an authenticator, so
yeah, I don't have an authenticator, so
now's the time, dude.
I'm gonna get my 2 extra bag slots.
Oh my god, that's crazy that you haven't done that.
I know, I'm lazy, whatever. So yeah, so it's super goodbye to the shitty group finder ads. Hopefully, I don't think you know, like you said, they're gonna find their way somehow. You know, yeah, they're gonna get there, but it is pretty bad, especially for PvP, when you're like, all right, I'm looking for 3v3s, and the only 10 people that are online are all selling. Right? It's like it's whack, dude.
Yeah,
real stupid. Okay, so the other thing is the range. The 5 to 9, 4 to 8, whatever, searching for Mythic Plus, that range thing. I think that's good. Also something that should have been in there from the start. But I think that's also a good change. Makes the group finder a lot easier to use.
Right. It kind of is in, but in just like a really weird way, where like if you type in 16, it'll search for like a 15, a 16, and a 17.
Yeah,
like
that. It's so
like
stupid.
It still kind of does it, but whatever. So now that it's actually like you can type in 15 through 18, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, super sweet. And all right, now the last one is group creators can now set a minimum M+ score or PvP rating in the group finder. This has
That's wild.
It is so long overdue that I don't understand why. Like the fact that and I'm talking for PvP. I don't know really what it does, for M+ score or whatever. But I think that PvP in for the most part was so fucking awful trying to find, like, you literally had to just say, I am this rating, please be this rating, and then you would have to hope that the person messaging you isn't lying, and then you'd have to like copy their name, go to like the armory, search their names, figure out where they are. It's like, it was a fucking mess. So this is like a massive time saver for PvP, only second to them adding solo queue.
Yeah. I mean, like, the fact that you can set a minimum is like, that's cool and everything, but just the fact that it's actually it's gonna show your rated PvP score for, I'm assuming, for whatever you're listed in.
Yep.
When you sign up, like, how many years have people want that? Literally since Arena came out, dude. Like,
so I would say it's about
fucking TVC, dude.
13 years overdue. What do you think?
Why did it take so long to? I mean, like, and of course it happens like right after they add Mythic. Oh, you can see a Mythic Plus score. We might as well let PvP in there too. Now that we put in all this work.
Well,
for
this is a
Plus score to show up.
It's a big thank you to Raider.io. Like, this wouldn't be in there if it wasn't for Raider.io. Like, so, hopefully they don't die because of this, but I think this is absolutely insane that it hasn't been in. I think it's super great that it is in, and I think it just makes all these changes really make the group finder better. And I think that they need to do shit like this more often. I'd like the auction house change was fucking the most fantastic.
They nailed it.
So I think they really need to like look at this type of shit and actually care about it more. But how do you do that when you fire 1,000 people? I don't know. All right, so that's all I have to say about that group finder thing. I don't really have much more.
Like what you said earlier about, I don't know, it's kind of being close to a solo queue situation. I unfortunately think they're going the opposite direction of a solo queue.
No way. Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to start doing, because like the demand for a solo queue is just like ridiculous, and like they get asked about it all the time. They constantly have to defend themselves for not adding it in the game. I think they're finally like, they just keep saying, no, we don't want to do that, but we'll improve the group finder so that finding groups is, like whatever. They just say all their stupid whatever, and then they don't change anything. And finally they're making changes to the group finder just to like shut people up about like finding groups being so miserable. So I think they're actually like taking steps to making the group finder better, which is good. Obviously that's good, but I think that like just means worse and worse for solo queue. I mean, maybe
I hope not, man.
Maybe the group finder will still just be really bad, and then like they just won't have an excuse but to just add solo queue. But I think this is like, especially for PvP, like having your PvP ratings show up, it like we just said, like people have wanted that since TBC, man.
It's insane that it hasn't been in. It's insane.
Yeah, they probably have been able to do that forever, and they just had some like philosophical reason why they didn't want to, or whatever. That's just like so wild to think that they would purposely not add it, and then also wild to think that they would accidentally not add it. I don't know, it's just all bad. But so it's just, the fact that they're adding that, like they're actually, it's nice that they're taking steps to make the group finder better, but I don't think this bodes well for solo queue. I don't think anything bodes well for solo queue. That shit is doomed. They will never add that, even though that's just another one of those obvious things that they should add. But it's
so damn sad. I really don't like their way of combating like a system that's bad in the player's eyes is like, well, if we put in solo queue, or if we make it so that you can freely swap covenants or whatever, like it's gonna be worse than what it is right now. And so instead we're just gonna balance the covenants. And if you're having a problem in the group finder finding a group, well, let's talk about those issues, and we're gonna fix those issues, and we'll make that better. Well, we're talking about that. The solution is adding a solo queue.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, no, well, if it's taking you 30 minutes, well, that's a problem. So we're gonna address those problems first.
Right.
Oh.
We'll get around to that eventually.
Fucking, I hate that. That's like the worst thing. That's the most like corporate PR bullshit thing. I really do not like those type of responses.
Yep.
Anyways, Group Finder's getting if Group Finder wasn't dope, it's getting doper. It would be dopest if it just had the solo queue option as well. So
that's exactly how I'd explain it, dude.
And then, hey, dude, we're almost done here. I think we should.
And by almost done, I mean there's 7,000 other changes in this patch that are all good. Everything's good. Everything is good in this patch. But there's so much, and we have to wait till 9.2 for it to actually like matter. Like the fact that like they are finally
dude,
adding,
that hurts so bad when you say that.
I know. I just said it. I didn't even think about what I said, and that's bad. But like there's just like a million, like reading through the patch notes was just like mind blowing. Like it's not like the most we talked about all the most impactful things, like pulling the ripcord and whatever, but like there's so many like quality of life things, like like account wide kind of changes just to make alt stuff easier. Like renown's gonna be easier, relics are gonna be easier, legendaries are easier, shards drop faster or whatever.
Just like, having an alt is easier because of all of this.
Yeah, and one of the weirdest like out of nowhere things that I never would have expected but makes so much sense, the little demonic gateway item that they're adding.
Oh my god. Yes.
Where you're not gonna need a fucking focus macro mouse over interact, whatever the fuck we have to do for
typical Blizzard
nowadays.
Would take away that functionality. They wouldn't accommodate us and put in an item to make it work. That's what I'm saying. There's been a fucking philosophy change. Something is different.
Oh my god, you're so right. They very well could have just like made that not work and like make you have to.
Yeah. that is. Tell me that's not such a Blizzard thing to do. Like they would totally do that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean this gateway item, you just fucking keybind it and press it, and it uses whatever closest in range gateway. Oh my god, it's gonna be so much better. You don't have to focus a gateway before every pull, or if it gets replaced or the boss gets reset. Oh my god, it's so much better. And they didn't have to do it, and they're probably adding it because there's like 7,000 clips of Gromnak like screaming because he doesn't know how to use it or whatever. Yeah. So thanks Gromnak, and yeah, on to the next one.
Secret hole out there. Okay. Yeah.
I'm keep reading through these.
I know. I'm reading them right now.
Changes,
like,
man.
All the alt shit that's going on, all the fucking PvP like eye level stuff that's going on, the legacy content, like
crazy.
There's so much stuff in this patch, and for all the people that are really upset, like Zax and I are, like all the people that are really upset that it's not, it's either quote unquote too late, or it's not new content. Like just keep in mind that the thing we've been wanting the most since BFA launched is is that we wanted a philosophy change, like a mentality change from the company. And if this is the first sign, this patch is the first sign that they're shifting the way that they think about the game and interacting with the community and taking community feedback. Now they could completely pull the rug out. Obviously, that could happen, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt one more time that this is a sign that they're actually going to be making better stuff going forward. Yeah.
Because this is like we've said it before. It's not like adding a corruption vendor, and it's like, kind of a shitty solution, to what was a shitty whatever. And that's a whole other thing. But it's like a half-assed kind of solution. This is like they just opened the fucking floodgates, bro. They just said, all right, everything that you hate is now resolved.
Everything mostly, on the forums, we just went through the forum and just check. Right.
So it's like whatever their motivations might be, maybe this is like to cover some shit that's going on or whatever to make, to distract us, or, whatever, whatever malicious things you can come up with, like, sure, whatever, like, could very well be some bad shit, but whatever. I'll take what I can get from Blizzard right now, dude, because
what we were getting was shit.
We could very well not be getting this. Like, it's not far-fetched to think this could just not be happening, and all the shit could still be in the game. And yeah, dude, like. And
hey, if 9.2 comes along, if 9.2 comes along and blows our socks off, then like we'll give them the props that they deserve. But if 9.2 comes along and it's dog shit, and it's not good, and it's another Korthia or something like that, then you're going to hear us complaining about it, just like you guys are complaining about it, and we'll deal with it when it comes. But for right now, I'm just taking this small-ass fucking win, dude. I'm taking this tiny win and moving forward, hoping that this makes 9.2 better and the next expansion and stuff after that.
Yeah, it, like, if anything, this should, like, give us hope about 9.2.
Yep.
Like, it might not bring you back to the game right now. It's probably not. I mean, I'm not really that too much more interested in the game as a result of this patch.
I got 2 weeks.
Yeah, sure. In December. But
it's so fucking. Stop saying it. It hurts my fucking heart.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
But it could mean good things. There's a chance that this, God, it does, like you said earlier, it does feel like a toxic relationship where it's like, oh, they're actually gonna get better, and
he's not gonna beat me anymore.
He's not gonna do drugs anymore, and then and then he's in WoW's in rehab right now, dude. They're inside
they're in
of
detox.
Rehab. Yeah, they're making changes for the better. They're like, finding Jesus, and whenever they're let out of rehab at 9.2, dude, they could just full relapse, and they just fool all of us again. We all know it's gonna happen, but there's a chance that it's not.
Clip it, dude. That is the best analogy. Holy shit.
Blizzard, please.
Please. Okay, that's it.